Okay. I don't really know where to begin with this because I didn't write a script and I have almost no notes. But it's time I tell the true story about imposter syndrome because it's becoming a big thing now. There were some YouTubers from this cult called Kabbalah that were instructed to explain what it was because they were the ones who invented it. But I'm going to tell you what it really actually is. I have been talking a lot in the way that you would, you know, supernaturally. I can't really explain that. But I'm now doing it on camera. Like, I'm not just gonna speak out into the wilderness anymore. I'm gonna just talk and say it on camera. And I feel like before I start talking about any of the stuff that happened to me, even the funny stuff, right? But before I start talking about any of that, you have to know that all of this is due to imposter syndrome. And I have to explain it first. I feel like this should have been the first video on my channel since I only started this channel to get people aware of the imposter syndrome because I kept hearing it everywhere I went during a certain time. People were saying it to me and I did not know what it meant. And then I found out that I was an honorary member of a cult known as Kabbalah, and I have been for about probably 12 years of my life. And I'm not good at math, so I wouldn't know. I just know it started when I was 7 because my mom was in Hollywood and she had a lot of connections there. And that's when they put me into it. But I was a child and I never knew. But I wanted to start with that to explain. It's a lot, but I really need you to stay with me here. That it's starting with Kabbalah. Everything that went wrong between 2016 to 2020 to now, it started because of imposter syndrome, which happened because of Kabbalah. But they're going to tell you that Kabbalah didn't even exist for a long time because before that it was the Illuminati. But Kabbalah is actually an ancient religion that they brought back from ancient times as a way to be better Christians. And I, as a 7-year old, was seen as a pure spirit. And they needed pure spirits to keep them relevant. That's how I would put it. I want to put it as stupidly and basically as possible because when you boil it down to that, it really is a stupid reason. And that's what always moves them, something stupid, because of how they were made. And I'm going to get into that in a minute, but it's that's my backstory of how I know all these celebrities, how I have all these stories on them, and why I'm so suicidal now, honestly. But yeah, so I had you would just not believe. I had a bunch of celebrities praying to me. I had a bunch of them coming to me and treating me like I was their therapist, just telling me the craziest shit you would never believe. And they just, because I was a baby to them, they thought I would never remember it, right? And they did this to other children too. I have a blog called Vision Cake, and they, excuse me, they also had Billie Eilish inducted into this cult, and I revealed that on there that we were baby cult sisters and that she too was, they called us the baby spirits. I forgot to mention that. They called us baby spirits. Okay, we were so pure that our spirit looked like a baby when they came out of their bodies to meet us and talk to us. And when they came physically around us, they felt our energy, and it was the energy of someone light. A light worker is what they would call us, right? when we became aware and we wanted, to be paid for it. Yes, but the the thing is though is that they didn't want to pay us for it. They all the suffering and torment that they put us through, they wanted us to just die or forget about it. And I will never forgive those baby spirits who did die and or just purposely forgot about it because they did get paid off in some way. I don't really trust them, but I'm one of the ones telling the full story about imposter and about Kabbalah. And there was this thing happening. It was something that Taylor Swift read about in the Bible a long time ago. Okay? She said she read this in the Bible. And I made sure to write down and remember things that they said to me. She, I don't know, I think it was Romans, some book in the Bible that she read. And for her brain, it registered as this means I can be as evil as I want to be, but it's only going to be for a certain time. That's what she said, right? And the reason why they were telling me this is because I was about to become a light worker. This is when the baby spirit moves up from being just worship to finally working like the rest of them, right? So she was telling me this because I was getting ready to be a light worker. Her followers were telling me this. Other celebrities were telling me this. These things that there's this thing called the imposter age or the age of the imposter where everybody who isn't supposed to be will be. That's what they said. They were telling it to me like really deep, like it was going to be this huge thing that was really special for all of us night walkers, the freaks, right? Because they assume that if they like me, I must be a freak like they are, right? But they just could not get over how my energy was so pure. That's what they said. Your energy stays consistent. You're not like the other baby spirits. Their energy after a little while dies and they start to turn into an adult. That's what they were talking about, right? They said even though you've grown up, your energy is still like that of a child's. And I was just, God just told me to shut up, honestly, and just let them talk. Don't get mad. Don't do anything. Just let them talk. Okay? It's just like that woman who was like, who the fuck did I marry? Remember that when that went viral on TikTok? And I watched the part where she said God told her to just start writing it down so she can remember this later. That's what God told me. Just become a journalist. And I was listening to them say all this crazy shit. And okay, so I'm just gonna skip ahead to they were really preparing for this. Will Smith revealed to me that they have been preparing for the imposter age since the 70s. They were really that anxious and nervous over this thing. They wanted this to happen so bad. It it was this thing where everybody was just finally gonna be evil. You know that movie The Purge? That's what this was. This was gonna be the great purging, specifically of America, because these were mostly Americans, but of everybody, the whole world. Like it was gonna be the great purging. And they wanted me in on it because they didn't want to tell me this part, but someone who was an ex Kabbalist told me that the reason they wanted you is because they knew that your Christian like energy would give them the ability to transform reality because they believed they could do that. There was a space in Cali that was real but not real at the same time. And if Christians prayed something, it would happen fast. So they wanted you there for that reason. And I remember I was in Cali and I was there and there were places in California that looked like it was a mirage. Like it was there but not really. So I do remember seeing things like that, right? And people were telling me don't walk into certain areas cuz it's like a portal and you'll die. And I was like, you guys are fucking crazy. But I was like, okay, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I didn't fully believe in everything. But now I do believe you can have out of body experiences and that telepathy and all that, empathy, being an empath, yeah. But like, because it started and nothing happened, they needed a spirit to really kick it up. That's where Kabbalah comes in. Kabbalah was started for a special race of people to worship Christ. Because these race of people are so backwards, it's hard for them to worship Christ the right way. And they need something sensational to do it. Kabbalah was the new wave after the Illuminati. The Illuminati was no longer fun or sensational, so they went to Kabbalah. And through Kabbalah, they got this idea to resurrect this old ancient spirit that was always, apparently, this spirit is always being used to create new religions that they want to get worldwide, right? When they want this religion to be famous, they use this spirit and they called him the imposter. And that's why they called the imposter age, because they named it after him. He is always causing people to worship false gods and all that shit, right? So it was Taylor's idea. Taylor said that she wanted to resurrect him because he'll really kick this shit up. Because guess what? They thought the imposter age would happen in the 90s. It wasn't so. It happened, they thought they were supposed to happen in the 2000s. Didn't happen. It finally came in the 2010s and it was boring. The only reason they knew, though, that the imposter age had happened was because Taylor got famous. She, after singing for a long time in the 2000s, she finally got famous in the 2010s, like really big. And they said, it's here. It's on. That's what Will said. Will knew that with someone as mediocre and as talentless as her doing music, it was on. And they were so happy about it. It was like, it's finally here. Let's go. Let's do this shit. But they couldn't do the evil stuff that they wanted to do. And they said, oh, this is so boring. Like, this is it? Really? We're just allowed to steal stuff, petty change, and get away with it? Like, come on. Like, I thought we were going to do some real evil. You know, that's the time they were on. They wanted to do some real evil. And now the celebrities are no longer talking to me because they can see that they're wary of me, right? On some Alamo and Rue shit. Like, oh, you stepping out on me? Bitch, I might be. Because they were fucking crazy, right? And so people who are in Kabbalah but left because it worked, that's the problem with these idiots. They don't think you're supposed to leave after it works, right? But some of them were smart and said, okay, well, I figured out how to worship Christ without being a dumbass. I'm going to go step out now, right? The ones who left started telling me, here's the real reason why I left, though. It did work for me, but also they were trying to sacrifice the baby spirits after a little while because they didn't want the baby spirits to wise up, come back, and demand money, right? Like me and Billy were doing. They didn't want us to do that. So they were going all over trying to find each and every baby spirit that they worshipped, and they were trying to get us killed. They were either going to cast spells on us, or they were going to physically come to our houses and try to get us killed. There were several times in my life where we were almost murdered, and it was because of them. So I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm trying now on my blog. I revealed that Will Smith, Cher Horowitz from Clueless, yes, and Taylor Swift were the three pioneers of this whole thing. They were the three pioneers of this whole thing. And the women who left Kabbalah started telling me that we believe you, so we're going to tell you this, and we're just going to see what you do with it, because bitch, we're not going to fight past that, right? They did not want to fight further. They just wanted to fight a little bit by telling me. So this is what they told me. Because I did watch some of this. I remember seeing some of this because I was one of the baby spirits they were worshiping. So they ended up accidentally just telling me and showing me these things anyway. But they told me that in 2009, before the imposter age really got started, Satan came in the form of an actor. He came in the form of a man who was always wearing a suit. Because he wanted to look dapper, right? And he was white, but had like a little Mediterranean or Middle Eastern thing going on. I don't know, but he went to a hospital. They said he went to a hospital and he grabbed a bunch of dog babies who had the faces of dogs. And obviously I clocked out. Okay, I'm being honest with you. I clocked out. I did not hear a word they said because I'm like, that's really true. But then I remembered that they was exposing that. I even saw it at school. Kids was passing around pictures of deformed babies. There was babies with a mermaid tail. There was babies with a cyclops eye. And there were babies that looked like animals, half human, half animal. And so I was like, okay, I have seen it before, but I just thought that shit was Photoshop. You mean those things are real? And they was like, yes, there are secret hospitals for special people who know that they're about to give birth to something for Satan. Okay? And so they go to these special hospitals, and he went to one of them, and there was a room specifically made for this special race of creature that look like dogs. Okay? And they're usually men, but for the imposter age, they came out with vaginas, like they did in the 1930s, right? So he went to them, he fondled their vaginas, poked them to see how they would react, and they laughed and smiled. Oh God, oh God. I saw him do that. I actually got a flashback of it. I remember him doing shit like that, right? He fondled their little clitty thingy in their vagina, and instead of being disturbed like a human child would, or crying like a human child would, they smiled and laughed at him and tried to say dada, which fucked my whole life up. And they said the same thing. They said that fucked my whole world up. We watched him do that shit, and I was ready to throw up, but I had to look normal, and looking normal in front of him was smiling and laughing. Bitch, you better smile, right? Like, he did that shit. And that let them know that that man wasn't lying. He said, I really am Satan. I don't know why you guys are laughing. And they said, yeah, right, whatever. But the fact that he smiled back at the kids, they said, oh, that's really daddy right there. That's the nigga we've been worshiping this whole time. He's standing right in front of us. He has a body and he's here. So they've had the coming of their Antichrist. And it was like, oh, bitch, we about to kick. They was excited now. They was excited. But the woman who left said, I was not excited, which told me I was not as dapper as I thought. That's the word she used. She said, I was not as dapper as I thought I was. I thought we were just in this religion to figure out how to worship Christ without being a fucking idiot. I did not know this was just another secret satanic cult. I'm getting the fuck out of here. She said that to them, and they tried to murder her fucking ass. And she asked God, Jesus, I did this for you. Let me out of here alive. And they left her alone. They froze like God had froze time. She said it looked like God had froze everything in time. And they all stopped trying to run after her. So she got out of the hospital, thank God, right? But she was stuck in the middle of a desert. The hospital was in the middle of a fucking desert because they didn't want people to find out that witches were giving birth to inhuman, ugly ass demon babies. That's exactly how she said it, right? And she just had to find her own way. She had to find her way because she wanted to live that much at the time. And I'm like, damn, I wish I had that will to live right now. Because, bitch, I'm telling you this story and I don't have that strong will to live right now. But I wish I had that will to live. She had it. God bless her, you know. But it's just like, they left her alone and then they went right back to it. I'm shaking. I'm so disturbed. I hate these creatures. I want them all to die because they're here now still. They're grown. They're grown-ups. Okay? They grow up fast because they're not actually children. That's part of the reason why they looked up and him was like, daddy. You know, it's like, it's not a dad type of thing situation. It's really just like, yeah, daddy, do that again. You know what I'm saying? On some fucked up ass shit. Like, they came in the form of babies because they were trying to look innocent before God. And that's what Kabbalah is. You start off worrying about Yahweh, and then you redirect and you turn everything you learned and bring it to Satan now. That's the whole point. It's like going undercover to be a Christian. That's what they were using it for. Being a Christian, learning what a Christian is, and then taking that shit and using it for Satan. And he said, when Satan was looking at them, he said, you guys don't serve me well. And they was like, this isn't for you, bitch. And he got rid of those people. They were like that woman who ran away. They took it as, this is for us slow people to learn how to be Christian because the Bible isn't detailed enough for us. Yeah, he got rid of them. Then he left these the Kardashians. He brought them in because he knew wherever they are, shit will just get goofy. It just get fucking goofy, and that's why he brought them into it. And with them came fleas, rats, roaches, all the whole merry-go-round, right? they brought everybody with them, the worst, the lowest of the low, because that's who they like to keep around them. And they were used for a lot of things. They were used for that shit. And he told them, he said, I need my own fan base because I'm trying to be an actor and I don't want wishy-washies. I don't want people that's going to say, yeah, 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 hail Satan, and then get a little scared when I don't know, touch a kid's ass, you know? Like, if I want to rub a baby's ass, let me rub a baby's ass. He was really talking like the real Satan. So this guy was Satan. And they was like, oh, okay. So you want people that's going to be with you no matter what. We know exactly. And it was Kim who said this. She was trying to sound real black because he was, I don't know, but Kim said this to him. She said, we know because the hospital that gave birth to our children, they always have people like that there. The babies down there are freaky as hell. You know how? Because one of the doctors tried to molest one of them to show me that they weren't human, and the baby got up and smiled at him. Like, it was crazy. These babies, they will worship you like that. So they went down. So that's why they went down to the hospital. You know, the crazy thing is, I don't remember really seeing Kim there. Maybe she had in one of those engagements where she pretends to, be a businesswoman or a lawyer or some shit. But it's the fact that she knew not to really show up next to him. She just told him to go there. You know what I mean? It's like she's a dumb bitch most of the time, but she gets smart when she needs to. And it's about, I don't know, it's like, so because they were so into him already, he said, yeah, I want these bitches to grow up fast. Is there any way we like time travel or some shit? They was really on that spooky cinematic universe bullshit. And I'm like, I ain't got time to hear this, bitch. I ain't got time to hear this. But they was letting me hear it because God, what did God tell me? He said, shut up and listen. Just shut up and listen. And so as they was finishing the story, I was like, I actually do remember seeing this shit. Why do I remember being there? Help me, help me, help me. Did they erase my memory? What's going on? Right? And he said that he wanted them to grow up fast, right? And one of them answered and said, I can, right? In her little baby demon voice, I can. And it was Alicia. She said, I can grow up fast because she knows how to do it. And what she meant was, the girl said she meant she's going to jump out of the baby's body and just jump into another person's body who's grown. But she didn't want them to know that because she wanted to look like a magician. That's what she said at the time to the other girl. And now she's telling me. And, okay, so that was it. The girl left because someone opened the door and tried to fucking murder her ass, and we was out of there, okay? So she couldn't tell me any more than that. But another one came after she wisened up. She finally wisened up, right? And came to me and said, I'm telling the police right now. I'm telling the police. They don't believe me. Satan came to earth for the imposter age, like a second coming, right? Before the witches. And he brought this ugly ass race of white women to America from Agrabah. They came from Agrabah. I don't know where the fuck that is, but they kept saying, we're Agrabah. They came from Agrabah, and Satan brought them here to fuck shit up. That's what they kept saying. They said, we're here to fuck shit up in their ugly ass accent. And when I tell you these bitches looked like straight up dogs, that's how she was saying it. She's like, they looked like fucking dogs. They had the snout and the nostrils of a damn dog. I ain't never seen no shit like that. They were so ugly. I thought they're not gonna make it. They're not gonna make it because people will be like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you trying to be a dog? You remember that nigga that tried to be a cat? He was in Kabbalah. He thought that because Satan was into animal worship and all that he had to turn into an animal to, trick Satan into worshiping, making love to him or some shit. He made his whole face the snout of a cat. You know what I mean? He tried to look like a real cat. I thought that's what these bitches were on. And they said, no, we were just born like this because our moms are into bestiality. We were born like this because their moms are into bestiality. That's what these bitches said. They did not get surgery like that cat man did. They were born that fucking ugly. And she wanted to kill herself. That's what she told me. She said she was going to kill herself, but before she did it, she had to tell the police. She wanted to tell the police to really prove to herself that it was the imposter age, that Satan had found his home in the police departments of America so that they wouldn't do anything if somebody stole large amounts of money this time, right? And that's what happened. She told them, they said, yeah, right, okay, bye, in the brig. They threw her into the psych unit and she died there. Same, bitch, same. But literally, literally, after she told me that, I actually didn't write it down because it was crazy enough for me to remember. Okay, that shit is burned in my brain. Burn. It was crazy enough for me to remember. I didn't have to write that part down. But what happened next is that Taylor Swift tried to get Justin Bieber to rape me, and he did it. And Justin's not in Kabbalah, but Taylor was. So I don't know why the fuck he listened to her. And I found out it's because he's one of them. He's one of those fucked up ass dog people. He he somehow has a regular looking face. I don't know how. I don't know why. He also doesn't know why he has a normal looking face. That's why he wanted to be Christian. But if we're being honest here, he deserves to die. If I'm being honest here, they all deserve to fucking die. But it's just that I don't like sounding crazy. I don't like sounding fucked up. I don't like sounding delusional. I don't like sitting here on a podcast telling people that Hollywood are all not human. Okay? Will Smith, and Taylor Swift are all something othered. I'm not going to say aliens. Okay, I'm not going to say they're aliens, but they're clearly something othered. Now that I recognize that, yes, these people do exist and they look like half animal, half human people, and they hide because they're fucking ugly and someone will say something. Why do you look like that, bitch? Like, what's going on? Because, and you think you're not going to be like, why do you look like that, bitch? You think you're not going to say that to them right away, but you will, because they have a very nasty, negative energy that brings out the worst in you. Like, you will, from the jump, at first meeting them, you'll just be like, you ugly bitch, get the fuck away from me. For no reason at all. They bring out the worst in you, and that's why Satan wanted them. Because not only will they worship him no matter what, but their energy is so demonic and negative and evil and bad and rotten that they can stand in a place for a long time and people will just start fighting. People will start fighting each other and then they'll start raping each other and it'll just be that fucked up. Like, they came to me making up this story about how their brain is backwards and we can't help it, right? Because I was about to put these bitches away. Once I realized that Satan put them up to this and then he was trying to get rid of them because he saw now they thought they could run shit because they found out how to multiply themselves. They realized if they make themselves pretty enough, some fuck ass idiot male will sleep with them and they can multiply into their children, right? Like a generational curse. And once they realized that, they was trying to get bigger than Satan did. So of course he was trying to get rid of them. He was trying to get rid of them bitches. And I said, now that their master doesn't want them, it'll be easier to get rid of them. Because he gonna help me, his dumb ass. Right? But they knew that they just had this sense. That's another thing that would make you afraid of them. They had somehow the ability to sense something before, like a clairvoyant, right? Like they could see to the future. And they came to me begging for their lives, saying, you're one of the baby spirits and you got the energy of God, so we know you can fucking kill us. So we're gonna do this nicely, okay? They tried multiple ways. One of the first ways they did was lying and saying that their brain is backwards. They were born with a backwards brain, their eyes grow backwards, and that's why they're blind, okay? Some of them were blind. They told me Helen Keller was one of them, and that's why she was all three, bitch. She was dumb, deaf, and blind. She wasn't, actually. She was just a Satanist who gave her eyes, her ears, and her mouth to Satan. That's why she was dumb, deaf, and blind. She wasn't a dog, okay, like they were. But they lied to me and said she was one of us. Her eyes was backward, and she couldn't see, and it fucked up her head. That's why, right? Then they said, there's this little creature in the back of her head. You know, it must be our brain. I don't know. It looked like a dog to me. That's what they were saying, right? That it grows its own eyes and it watches a movie, and I guess the movie is our imagination. It's like I'm realizing this as I'm saying it to you. It's our imagination. Them bitches thought they were fucking clever. I mean, okay. I was listening to them and I didn't believe a word of it. I was like, yeah, sure. I only believe some of it. But I'm like, how is that possible, right? So they said their brain is flipped around and it be watching a movie of them doing stupid shit, right? Because you know how your eyes will flip an image so that you're looking at the right thing? Yeah, that's not really human to do that. That's demons. They found out that that's demon people. Apparently, there's a race of humans who always see upside down or backwards, and when they're human, their brain just flips it right side up so that they can see the right image as everybody else. Apparently, no one's ever dissected an actual human being before and seen that we have a normal skeleton that doesn't have a tail at the end of its bone, and we don't see images upside down or in black and white. We may see it in negative at first, but we do not see images upside down or black and white. In school, they were teaching us. I don't know if this happens in other American schools, but they were teaching us that some people see upside down and their brain has to flip it for them. And then there are people who are colorblind. And I always knew there was something wrong with that shit. I always knew that those people were not human. And that's why they were seeing like some dog or some shit. And they were trying to, the dogs were trying to belittle themselves to make me feel better so I wouldn't kill their ugly ass because they was like, we handicapped, don't kill us. And I realized they're just evil. They're just evil. I wanted to believe them. I wanted to be comforted by the fact that their brains are backwards. If we just flip it forward, they can be saved. But I had to accept it. These bitches are nasty. These bitches are nasty. They are the reason why people started raping babies. And why Cali tried to pass a law saying you're not allowed to change your baby's diaper unless they consent. They are the reason why that law even became a thought. It's because of them. And I had to accept it. It's really hard for me to accept, but these bitches are nasty. They're naughty by nature. It's a nice little joke, but it's the truth. They really are like that. And that's why they're called dogs, because they're like God, but backwards. DOG, God. These bitches are backwards, and they really could take Satan's place. That's all I'm saying, because even he has a limit. These bitches do not. The the only reason they try to be human or try not to hurt anybody is because they know they're getting judged by Satan. Satan says, okay, now you're doing too fucking much. Because I wouldn't even do that, right? If their daddy says you're doing too fucking much, that's the only reason they put their pussies down and stop trying to throw it at everything. Because that's what they use the most. When they found out that as a woman, you can get away with a lot more shit, they wanted to stay being women. They didn't want to go back to being men, right? Because that's how they started off anyway. But I'm trying to tell. I could go back to, oh my God, Taylor Swift told Justin Bieber to rape me. And I could go back to that, right? And he did try to rape me. He really did. This nigga was fighting hard as hell. Just like them dog bitches, okay? He got really close to it and he grabbed my foot so hard that he ripped off my skin and left a mark that was in the shape of a penis because he thought that shit was funny. He thought it was funny. And I had other fans telling me that they would be waking up in the middle of the night with random scars on their legs and their and sometime near their pussy that looked like a cartoony ass shape, like it was specific. He was doing this shit on purpose, is what I'm trying to tell you. He would leave a specific shape of a scar on somebody on purpose. Okay? Them bitches got raped because they were whores anyway. I feel bad for them. I wasn't one. I didn't get raped by Justin, but it's the fact that he really, really tried, and that's why I can't listen to his music no more. That's why I hate him and Haley. Because I know she must be one of those stupid ass dog bitches. Because the way she stalked him and how sociopathic she is, she's fucked up. I know that when I also know about these dog creatures is that they've been around for a long time. Like that woman told me, they've been around since the 1930s. I think they've been around longer than that. And when they try to be really righteous, instead of being a fucked up ass, evil ass bitch, they turn sociopathic. Meaning they have to copy somebody who is righteous in order to not be a fucked up ass bitch. Because that is their default nature, to be a fucked up ass bitch. They're so nasty. And I hate them. I'm not sorry for how I'm speaking. Like, I fucking hate them. Okay? because I guess I'm the exact opposite of them. I just would never in all of my days think like they do. And it's just appalling. It's really something watching them run around in a circle and think people don't know that, bitch, you're not mentally ill. You know what the fuck you doing. Like, I would, the sad thing is, they would want you to do that. I would strangle them and watch the life drain out of their eyes, and they would want you to do that shit. Because they would be laughing at themselves. They'd be laughing, saying, look, I got a Christian to murder me brutally. Satan, are you watching? Like, look at that. Like, that's how they be sounding. They be sounding like stupid ass black bitches. Like hoochie mamas. That's another thing I don't like about them. They, when they look black, they're disrespectful as hell. They are a racist, fucked up ass caricature that always tries to get a big ass and just a body that looks like a damn ant. Okay? They're so, he, the problem obviously is Satan, but then further back, it's just, why did God even let these exist? And then we have to look at the Christians. It's because Christians don't give a shit. Why did I do this? I don't even know. I just had to let this out. The truth is that I'm getting ready to kill myself, bitch. Because I have no idea what to do. I am done with Christians because they did let this happen. After a while, God put the Bible in front of you to warn you. He put other things in front of you to warn you. There were a few red flags that told us this could be prevented and it's about to happen if you don't do nothing. And the Christians just let it happen. And I'm just telling you because I need to get this negative energy out of me because this was a lot, okay? It was a lot. It's a lot. There's so much that happened to me. I wanted to start this channel really as like a blind item gossip blog. But for me, I don't give a fuck. It's not going to be a blind item gossip blog. It's going to be unblind, meaning I'm going to name names. I'm going to tell you who did what. And I am going to say it boldly, right? And if it get demonetized, then bitch, that's just more fuel for me to get the fuck out of here. Because why are you demonetizing me, YouTube? Like, why are you telling me it's offensive so I gotta censor it, like, or private it? Like, why would you do that? You're a part of the fucking problem. You're a part of the problem if you tell me to do that. Like, I'm not gonna curse you or anything because you ain't do that yet. But I just know, like, come on, like, this is why Hollywood is evil. This is why I'm trying to say we gotta get rid of Hollywood because of those bitches. Okay, I know people are gonna be like, no, don't get rid of Hollywood, just get rid of them. But Hollywood let Satan in. What I told you, it was Will Smith, Taylor Swift, Cheryl Horowitz, three celebrities that everybody loves in some way. People know Cher only for Clueless, and that's where they love her. That's what they love her from. People love Will Smith because he had great movies. Plus, he was Will from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's where we all know and love him from, right? Taylor Swift, I don't know why the fuck people love her, but a good amount of people did really love her and worship her. So that's three well-known and loved celebrities from Hollywood putting out a purge and causing millions to die. And when I say millions, I do mean millions, because when they resurrected that imposter spirit, that thing caused COVID to happen, and what you saw was millions of people dying and becoming as stupid as these dog bitches. These dogs said they wanted everybody to become like them, okay? Four-legged and retarded. You know what they said to me? They said it's good that they're called a dog because a dog is always on all fours ready to get fucked. And that's all they're here for. They want to get fucked up the ass, okay? And whether that looks like them, getting framed for burning down somebody else's houses because they tormented somebody to do it, or them actually having sex, that's what they're here to do. That's what they're here to do. Never trust anyone that says she's on the journey to being reformed because they cannot change. They're not meant to change. There has to be at least one creature who was always for Satan, and it is them. And you know why? Because actually, I can't fucking answer that. I don't know why, bitch. You're gonna have to ask Yahweh. Because I don't know why Satan needs any creature that is gonna be all for him. I don't know why. Beelzebub is his loving daughter and wife. And even she can't be all for him all the time. Because there are some times where she's recognizing I'm a human too. And I like I like being good sometimes. I like having positive energy sometimes, okay? These dogs, They don't want no positive energy. That shit makes them gag. They want to throw the fuck up. If you smile at them and throw some positive love their way, they will fucking murder you over that shit. And that's why he liked them at first. But then his bitch ass said, you know what? I actually do like positive energy sometimes too. That's why I be talking to God. He goes, if you read the Bible says that Satan be going, sneaking up into heaven to try to talk to him, right? The dogs can't even do that shit. They don't even want to talk to God. They be forcing themselves to talk to God because Satan does it. And Beelzebub does it. That's the only reason. If they had it their way, everybody would be fucking nasty and evil 24/7 all the goddamn time. And now I'm going to say something that might really get me in trouble. That's why Hitler was murdering them in droves back in the day. And I'm saying if you want to take care of these bitches, you got to start murdering them in droves. You got to put them in concentration camps and start fucking killing them like they're roaches. Spray raid into their veins and don't treat them like you care. Because if you are a Christian standing over them, acting like you don't care, that will fucking trip them up. That will trip them up because you're supposed to care. You're a Christian. Why don't you care about me? Right? That's exactly what they said to me. I'm dying. They tried to show me them getting. Somebody tried to, somebody got up and finally tried to murder one of them, and they wanted to show me, saying, look, I'm dying because of you. My husband's sawing me in half with a chainsaw. It was a dream I had, a vision. It was like, I'm getting sawed in half with a chainsaw and it's your fault. Hee hee. And I was like, good for your ass. And that actually shut her the fuck up because she didn't think a Christian would say some shit like that. She didn't know how to react. But I'm trying to, it's like, what, 40 minutes of this going on? I don't even know how long this might go on. I hope it saves. I hope it saves. I feel lighter. I feel better. I feel like I gotta say something else though. What you want me to say, God? Share is real. I don't know why I have to say that just now. Like, but I just want you to know they all did this. Taylor, Will Smith, they was really happy. Their Lord and not Savior, Satan, showed up for the imposter age to really help them and found out he was too lazy. He did not give a fuck about them. He just needed them to give him a career. Okay? Him trying to be an actor was him being an imposter. Okay? But once he did that, he didn't give a fuck. Once he got that TV show, he did not care about them. That's why they had to go and resurrect Ultron or Thanos, as we, call him colloquially as a joke, but he was the imposter. Okay? A goddamn fart, bro. A goddamn fart. When you figure out the things that these stupid people will worship. Another thing. Excuse me. Don't fall for it. I was going to detail what the imposter syndrome is, but I can't. This video is already long enough. And I was going to detail to you how you know it's a dog that you're dealing with. Okay? Aside from the fact that they have nasty negative energy, they're not ugly anymore. Satan told them, stop being fucking ugly. You think being a dog is cute and it's not cute to humans. I need you to look like a human, right? So over time, they found a way to fix their face. Fix their face. Plastic surgery. Okay? We need to get rid of them bitches too. Plastic surgery doctors, we need to get rid of them because they keep demon people in our vicinity. Okay? How are we supposed to tell if these bitches are demons if you keep fixing their face? They come out ugly for a reason. You stupid ass doctors. They come out ugly for a reason. Stop helping them. Okay? Let them be fucking ugly. That's what I wanted to say to those Cali doctors on Botched. Like, let them be fucking ugly. And oh God. It's just another way you can tell is that they think hurting you is a form of love. Okay? When they start ignoring you, they say that means we like you. When they start stealing shit from you, that means they like you. You go to a bank account where they work and you put your money into it, you better hope they don't like you, bitch. They will steal your money because anything that you like is blessed in their eyes. So they be doing that shit to Satan. They be trying to steal shit from him. Okay? Because anything he likes is blessed. Or should we say cursed? But a cursing is a blessing to these bitches. That's how fucking fucked up they are, right? But if they don't like you, they'll leave you alone. They won't steal from you. Can you see how it's insane? I don't want to say anymore. I feel like this video is running too long. I want to say something in another video. I don't know what else to say. Okay, I feel like I look like Cat Williams out here in this bitch, or fucking Orlando Bloom. But I'm just telling it like it is. I got way more secrets. I could just start giving it away right now. It don't matter. It don't matter. But I just needed to tell you about the imposter syndrome and these dog bitches, these people, these that aren't really a people. I just needed to talk about them first because they are the major culprits at why the world fucking sucks right now. Why the energy always feels like it's being sucked out of life. You go outside and you're like, why am I here? I could just go back inside. Then you go inside and you feel like it's happening again. Why is the energy being sucked out of my damn house? Now I gotta go back outside and figure out what's going wrong. Like, your mom, like, you find your mom acting all weird and gay and freaky with you. Like, you ever had a weird flashback that one of your family members came and masturbated in front of you? That was real, and that was because of one of those fucked up ass dogs trying to get people to rape their family members for entertainment, for Satan's entertainment. Because he wanted to watch a live action movie when he was sad. It's over, I'm done.